Well, if you follow Division III basketball, or if you just like to look up funny mascots, the one school at the top of every list every year is UC Santa Cruz. Yes, they are the Banana Slugs, and they are ours. They are members of Division III, and this year they are making their debut in the D3Hoops.com Classic as they take on the Wheaton College Thunder out of Wheaton, Illinois. Good evening, everyone. Game number 6 of day number 1. Game number 6 of 14 overall here at the D3Hoops.com Classic. And it's the nightcap, and it features the UC Santa Cruz Banana Slugs as they take on Wheaton College. Wheaton 5-4, coming off a season where the Thunder had just 5 wins. A perennial CCIW challenger, looking to get back there. And looking with a win tonight would guarantee that they will finish this season with more victories than last season. UC Santa Cruz, and we'll talk about this throughout the evening, they are in an interesting position. They will play 2 games here this weekend. Then they will play 2 more when they get home, and then that's it. They're done with their Division III portion of their schedule. They will play a host of teams that are not a member of Division III. They are on an island as much as you can get. They are in Northern California. They are the only Division III school in Northern California. There are not very many schools in the West Coast as it is, so they are on an island in an island. I mean, they are all by themselves, and so scheduling always a challenge, not a member of a conference. There isn't even a conference that would be a natural fit for them where they are. So scheduling is always a challenge, and we're glad to have the Banana Slugs here to help them out with that ongoing challenge.
Yeah, they should come out here every year. We'd be glad to have them. It is indeed, you think about Northern California, very well isolated from Southern California where the SCIAC is. It's a significant drive up to Portland where it would be the first place you could kind of run into the Northwest Conference. And so, yeah, you end up with the likes of Bethesda University and I'm going to say Life Pacific,
UC Merced,
Biola, Cal State Stanislaus, probably not on the schedule, but that's a school I just wanted to throw in there. It's really difficult to fill a schedule as an independent in the first place. Plus, when you have nobody around you in Division III, it's nearly impossible.
So their head coach is Ron DuBois. He's got a tough task to try and build a program in that particular environment. It's a very good academic school. And DuBois is a graduate of Arizona State and is one of just 6 coaches who have experience in the NBA and FIBA, the International Federation for Basketball. And he's trying to get the Slugs program on track. He's in his 5th season. It's been a tough go so far, 38-75 in 5 years in Santa Cruz.
It was a tough go for him just to get here.
Yeah.
His team practiced here without him yesterday. He was delayed on a flight out of San Francisco. The team kind of took multiple flights in multiple directions to get here, and his was the one that did not get out on time, but they practiced. They had their walkthrough here yesterday nonetheless under an assistant coach, and now they are here to play basketball.
Starters for the Banana Slugs, number 22, Adam Marlowe, number 31, Ben Dorfman, number 34, the junior forward from Rockland, California, that's Kyle Creighton, and the junior forward from Boston, Massachusetts, Andrew Jones. Trey Weston, the guard from Los Angeles, California, rounds out the starting 5 for the Banana Slugs. For the Thunder, not that they should play second fiddle here, but again, UC Santa Cruz, such an oddity, not just because of their mascot, but for a number of reasons in college sports. Is the headline, at least in the pregame, but again, Wheaton looking for win number 6 on the season. You got Aston Francis, a sophomore guard, joined in the backcourt by Luke Peters out of Medina, Ohio. Sophomore wing player Kobe Eichelberger is starting his 10th game. You've got Ricky Samuelson, also started every single game, junior guard from Northfield, Illinois. And then a change to the starting lineup for Coach Mike Shower's Thunder is Jay Spencer, the freshman forward from Chicago, will get the start. Normally they play a spot held by Reagan Jones, who is here and will play, but did not start this evening as we are underway. The Banana Slugs in the yellow jerseys with the black paneling. Wheaton in the home white and orange. And the Banana Slugs with the ball as we open up. Adam Marlowe drives in, and the ball is lost off of Marlowe's hand out of bounds. It will be Thunder basketball. Wheaton 5-4, 1-1 in conference. CCIW for the first time in a long time, if not ever, opened conference play during the first semester. So Wheaton got a win at Elmhurst and then a loss at Augustana.
Yep, a byproduct of adding Carroll to the conference, back into the conference from the state of Wisconsin.
Shot is up and good, and Kobe Eichelberger wastes no time in getting Wheaton on the scoreboard. It's 2-0 Thunder.
And I literally do think that the discussion on the message board on d3boards.com indicated that indeed it had never started before the holiday break.
A bump and a foul as Thunder will get the first personal here. And it is Eichelberger who picks up the foul, his first. Ball inbounded. Trey Weston hands it off for Marlowe. Leading scorer for the Banana Slugs is Corey Cilia, who's not in the starting lineup for whatever reason tonight. 12 points per game, and he started every game before this one. Santa Cruz has played a bunch of games. His shot is off the mark, no good. This is game number 14 for UC Santa Cruz, who again will just have 2 more against Division III opponents after this event. They have 1 more here after this game, and then they play Oberlin and 1 other team, and then that's it.
Skidmore, I believe.
Skidmore, yeah. 3 on the way, off the back of the rim, no good. Rebound controlled by Wheaton's Luke Peters. Peters dishes off. Deep side 3 is long and short, no good for Francis. And shot put up and in by Jay Spencer. And Spencer cashes that one in, and the Thunder with a 4-0 lead. And Rob Du Bois is not happy with what he's seeing early on. He's going to call timeout. 30-second timeout for the Banana Slugs. Again, the lone member of Division III that are in Northern California a handful of years ago, probably more now than I can remember, but Menlo was in a similar situation. They were up in Northern California, and they went NAIA.
Yeah, and they were always dual members of the NAIA as well as Division III, so they always aligned with Division III for sports such as football and with the NAIA for basketball because it's a lot more pragmatic that way.
Yeah.
UC Santa Cruz, of course, has its own discussion about the state and the place of athletics on its campus.
Yeah, they're independent for basketball. They're in a bunch of different conferences. They're in the ASC for golf. They're all over the board, yeah. It's established in 1965. The shot is off the glass and good. Yeah, Banana Slugs, Kyle Creighton with the basket. Described as a public research university and one of 10 campuses in the University of California system. They're also the only UC school in Division III.
It used to be that UC San Diego was a member of Division III, a Division III power in many sports, including soccer. And they moved to Division II sometime after we came around in the late 90s, but not long thereafter. UC Santa Cruz also one of the largest schools in Division
that's what
III.
I was looking for. I was saying I believe they're one of the largest, 19,000 students just about. In comparison, Wheaton's about 2,000 students, and Wheaton much closer to the mean.
I believe only NYU is larger in Division III.
Yeah, I think that's correct. 4-3 Wheaton on top of the Banana Slugs. Trey Weston's shot stripped away, looking for a foul, nothing coming. Here comes Wheaton back the other way. Layup is up and good, and Luke Peters with the basket. He's got the Thunder on top by 3. 6-3. It was 17-18 to play in the first half. Banana Slugs. Ball in the hands of Kyle Creighton. That shot way off the mark. And controlled by Luke Peters. Over for Francis. Francis, offensive foul called on Aston Francis. And the turnover gives the ball back to UC Santa Cruz. Santa Cruz going to bring junior forward from Walnut Creek, California into the game. That's Matthew Nerlin, number 33. Nerlin appealing in his 8th game, averaging a little under 3 points per contest. Banana Slugs as a team averaged 72 points per game. Ball poked away momentarily from Marlowe. Marlowe, nice look, tough angle shot, and Matthew Nerlin finds a way to roll it in, contorting around the rim to put it up for 2 and get Santa Cruz within 1. It's 6-5 Wheaton.
Yeah, I don't know how that's a tall, lanky kid, 6'6", just enough to put something in there.
Ricky Samuelson with a basket of much lower difficulty makes it 8-5. Both of Santa Cruz's field goals have been tough shots.
The Romanian judge did not give him any love for that, though.
Kyle Creighton thinks about trying to face up on Spencer and gives it off for Nerlin, who will try and wheedle his way and get another open shot. 3 is up and good, and had a Marlowe for 3. Marlowe, a 19% three-point shooter on the season. So not his best spot. 36% as a team for the Banana Slugs, and they are tied at 8. Right side of the arc, three-pointer up and good for Ricky Samuelson. So Samuelson with back-to-back baskets. He's a 37% three-point shooter. Thunder shoot 38% as a whole from behind the arc. Drive in, Marlowe, shot blocked by Spencer, and running free and clear is Aston, at least for the moment, until Aston Francis is fouled. And free throws coming here for Francis. A couple of subs waiting to check in for both teams. First free throw, no good for Francis. Francis is 75% free throw shooter. Team as a whole, this is not their strong suit, 65% for Wheaton.
Tyler Klingen back into the game for the Banana Slugs. Trey Weston goes to the bench.
Thunder will bring number 5, Trevor Gunter, in, sophomore forward from Flint, Texas, appearing in his 10th game of the season. All of them off the bench, and also Reagan Jones, number 32, checks in. Jones, a sophomore forward out of Fairfax Station, Virginia. Again, I mentioned he started every game before this one. 12-8 Wheaton, 15-16 to play. And the last game of the first day here of the 7th annual D3 Hoops Classic. Marlowe, pestered by number 23, Jake Malagan, who's checked in, freshman guard from Brownsburg, Indiana. Ball into the post for Creighton. Creighton backs his man in. Hook shot will roll home for Kyle Creighton. Nice shot by the junior forward. He averages 13 points per game. I mentioned before that Celia was the leading scorer. I'll correct myself. Creighton's actually the leading scorer. He averages 13 points per game. Celia is second. And for whatever reason, again, not playing so far, as that is tipped and fouled. They're going to get Matthew Nerland with the foul. And once again, subs checking in. Here is Corey Celia. So whatever the reason, Celia now hops onto the floor. A 46% three-point shooter and an 85% free throw shooter for the Banana Slugs. And offensive foul called on Trevor Gunter.
And so while UC Santa Cruz is a public research institution in Northern California, Wheaton, a very religious-based school in the suburbs of Chicago, draws its student body, including its basketball team and most of its sporting rosters from all across the country, as Celia makes his presence known with a three-pointer. But, just the starting lineup from, East Texas, Tyler, Texas, Medina, Ohio, Maitland, Florida, Northfield, Illinois, and Chicago. Then kids from Grand Rapids, Fairfax Station's in the D.C. suburbs. Grapevine, Texas is a suburb of Dallas. Canton, Georgia. These they're coming from, a good cross-section of the United States.
Nice look down low. Layup is no good, however, for Klingenbeck, and the Thunder get the rebound. Banana Slugs by 1. Just never really rolls off the tongue,
Banana Slugs, you get used to it, I'm sure, by the end of
it's
the
an acquired
second
taste.
I'm not sure what that taste would be.
Nerlin to Andrew Jones. Jones back to Nerlin. 13-12 Santa Cruz lead. Nerlin or for Celia. Celia from Montera, California. All of the Banana Slugs save one are from the Golden State. That shot is up and good, and Santa Cruz finding a way to score here. They lead Wheaton by a score of 15-12 with 12:54 to play in the opening half. And they're going to get 3 more fresh bodies back out there for Coach Mike Schauer, who's in his 8th season with the Thunder. Shot is up and will roll off the rim. Gunter couldn't get it to roll, and another foul called on Wheaton on the offensive side of the glass.
Well, Wheaton struggling a little bit over the course of the past couple minutes. Now going to bring 4 new players in. You know, I don't know if it's lack of energy. I mean, they've been here for not less than a day. They've been here for a day. I watched them walk in the hotel yesterday afternoon, but it is, you know, after 10 o'clock Central Time, which is, you know, a little bit, at least still a little bit where the body clock has to be set at this point, right?
Yeah. Now this is Santa Cruz is the only team that is in the Pacific time zone on the men's side this year. The Northwest Conference has a number of teams here on the women's side, but the women's teams always play first, so that the body clock issue not as much of a challenge for them. Santa Cruz will play the late game tomorrow as well. Pass down low, open look, layup no good. Second shot for Samuelson is blocked away, and it will be a foul on the Banana Slugs. We'll make a couple of substitutions here. Santa Cruz will bring Dylan Holler, a 6'2 senior forward from San Diego, California, in for his first action of the night. Ben Dorfman also returns, number 31. Ball inbounded. Jay Spencer got an open look and missed it by about 3 feet. Celia up the floor.
It was almost as if he put it up expecting contact, but there wasn't anybody within 2 feet of him.
Yes. Dorfman takes an elbow to the eye. Nerlin curls around. Jay Spencer, who's all kinds of energy out there. Arms and legs flailing away for Jay Spencer as the ball is poked away, but another foul on the Thunder will give the ball back to Santa Cruz. Actually, they're just going to say that the Thunder player had stepped out of bounds. Nerlin that catches the inbounds pass from Celia, lays it up for 2. And Santa Cruz with a 17-12 lead, largest advantage for the Banana Slugs. Stands at 5. I think we've got the scoreboard. Once again erased the reversed home and away. So if you're following on the live stats, our score's right, their score's wrong. As Pat will head over there and try and get that fixed. Thunder get the ball inbound. Spencer Peterson is checked into the game for Wheaton, and a 3 is up and good for Aston Francis. Francis with 5 points now. Spencer, a freshman forward from Grand Rapids, Michigan. And 3 on the way is up and off the side of the rim, no good. And a nifty shot there. It's the Banana Slugs. They, if there were points for level of difficulty, they would have more than 19. As Trey Watson will have a chance to, or Weston, excuse me, will have a chance to get the 3-point play here. Weston out of Los Angeles, California. We've had teams come from Los Angeles. First time in a while we haven't had a SCIAC team. That's the shortest trip for them. They can
bus.
They can bus, and they usually do.
I'm guessing they always do.
Yeah.
Unless they drive in individual cars.
Or van. Is that a verb? I'm not sure.
I van, you van, he, she advance.
I will have vanned. 19-17.
Is that the future?
The blue perfect.
Yeah.
19-17. 10:38 to play here in the first half. Celia will head to the free throw line, where, as we mentioned before, he is very, very good, 85% on the season.
He's good at a lot of things. You mentioned
all things shooting.
Yes, things having to do with offense for 400, Alex.
Celia hits the first free throw. 3-point lead for the Banana Slugs. Second one coming. Up and good. Well, now if you're following on the live stats, now everything but the logos are right.
Yeah, well, we won't be able to fix the logos in-game, but hit refresh if you really want to see the names on the right side at least.
Ball tipped away out of bounds. It stays Wheaton basketball.
It's the thing with these neutral site events.
Yep.
It's only paperwork as to who's home and who's away,
right.
But it matters in the stats.
And in the laundry.
Yes.
Wheaton with the ball, down by 3. Aston Francis tries to change that. And a rebound is controlled by Holler of the Banana Slugs.
Hardin Simmons men's basketball team leaving the gymnasium. They've been here for about a game and a half.
Yep. They will play Salisbury tomorrow. As they drive, or as the Thunder come down the floor. Peterson, spot up 3, rattles out. Rebound controlled by Weston. And Cilia back the other way.
Assuming you haven't watched the previous 5 broadcasts, you haven't heard us say a dozen times, the right-hand side of the gymnasium is the one with the tougher sight lines for shooting. That's the one that Wheaton is shooting on here in the first half.
Ball deflects out of bounds, and Aston Francis has way more energy than everybody else on this side of the court, so he chases the ball down in the far corner. I'll reset it for you. Banana Slugs here have Marlowe, Dorfman, Cilia, and Weston on the floor, and Wheaton's just missing some defensive assignments there, and another relatively easy basket for the Banana Slugs. You've got Gunter, Peters, Reagan Jones, and not let me reset things because teams are scoring quickly now. 23-19. Oh, never mind then. 9:16 to play here in the first half.
Resets are only for when the game is slow. Come on.
Yeah. I thought we had 40 points in the first 11 minutes. I thought I could get away with one. Apparently not. 3-pointer up, no good.
I'm giving away how the sausage is made here.
Trevor Gunter, I think, is going to get called for the foul.
Next, I'll be telling them about the one time that I will say in regulation rather than in the second half.
Actually, Reagan Jones, they're going to give the foul to. Gunter looked like he was the guilty party. Dylan Holler to the free throw line. Not a lot of attempts this season. He's 9 for 14. And Holler rattles the first one in. Holler averaging 3.5 points per game. Played in every game so far for the Banana Slugs. And Holler try to extend the lead to 6, and the Banana Slugs have their largest advantage of the evening. It's 25-19 Santa Cruz. Outside look, open 3, way off the mark, and Holler with the defensive rebound.
It's not as tough from the wings in that end of the building and not as tough from the corner. It's really tough the farther you get straight on because the backdrop behind the basket ends up being about 100 feet behind the basket.
Marlowe drives to the rim, but a turnover by the Slugs short circuits that possession. And Santa Cruz heads back on defense, up by 6. Wheaton. Luke Peters brings the ball up the floor. I'm not sure he's left the floor yet. Ricky Samuelson, he has, okay. Pull up. Aston Francis didn't know what he wanted to do with the ball. Trey Weston forces him into a turnover. And then Aston comes across the arms of Weston, who will get 2 free throws. So free throws coming here for the Banana Slugs. Thus far tonight, Santa Cruz 5 of 6 from the free throw line, make it 6 of 7.
The resume for the Banana Slugs, they've played 2 games already against non-Division III opponents. They also lost to Cal Lutheran, lost to Redlands, lost to Cal Lutheran a second time, and lost to Whittier out of the SCIAC. Foul shot good. Beat Caltech, beat Rhodes, the system-like team, but defends 94 feet instead of 47. Out at WashU's tournament, lost to WashU, lost to Illinois Tech, beat Pacific Lutheran, and as we mentioned, just after tonight, 3 more games against Division III opposition the rest of the way.
Yeah, and then a host of schools. I'm not even sure the schools they're playing. I guess they're NAIA. I'm not even sure what those schools are.
I refuse to check, sorry. Pacific Union, Bethesda University, UC Merced, California Miramar, which is a new one to me. Shepherd. Shepherd is a D2 school in West Virginia, so I suspect that's not them.
Right.
Bethesda University is not in Maryland, that sort of thing.
I'm guessing UC Miramar is in Miramar, California.
One would guess, why they haven't had athletics, or were they called something else before? Or?
I don't know.
And again, I just draw the line at investigating the background of non-Division III schools. I've got enough going on.
27-19. Banana Slugs have got a pretty good lead going on here as they've pushed the lead up to 8. Drive up, shot short, and all Thunder battling for the ball, but they managed to knock the ball away from each other. And here comes the Banana Slugs back the other way. Adam Marlowe. Good head fake from Nerlin, and then has it blocked back into his chest. Marlowe rotated around. Ben Dorfman for Weston. Weston over the top of the defense. Skip pass, open 3, good! Adam Marlowe sends the Thunder into a timeout. It's an 11-point Santa Cruz lead. Banana Slugs on top, 30-19.
Yeah, if you're Wheaton, you've got a lot of stuff to work on here. It's not that calls aren't going their way. They're just not executing on offense. They're not getting good looks at the basket. And, boy, UC Santa Cruz is definitely doing all of those things. That's one of the things I like about them the best here so far in the first 12 and a half minutes, Gordon, is how well they move the ball around and eventually find a shot with a guy that's open. And, more often than not, literally, they hit it. More often than not, they've hit 10, they've missed 9.
Yeah, Wheaton has been very quick on their offensive possessions. I don't know whether they're trying to exploit something where they believe there's a weakness in Santa Cruz and that they can take advantage of them in getting back in transition, or if they're just over-eager or whatever it is. But they're not taking much time off the shot clock, and they're looking very, very quickly down the floor. Shots aren't falling. They've fallen behind now by 11. Santa Cruz out of Santa Cruz's bench with a 13-0 advantage on Wheaton. And pretty much all the advantages to be had are held. Well, Wheaton has a 1-rebound advantage. But
points in the paint for Santa Cruz, 14-8 advantage.
Yep.
Shooting well from the foul line, shooting well from beyond the arc, shooting well from the floor here in the half where they should, obviously. The left end, you may not understand. The left end of the building is the easier one to shoot in, because the right hand one is the tougher. It's kind of a binary system like that.
Thunder with a good possession. Ricky Samuelson springs free for 2. He lays it up, and Samuelson, who's the Thunder's second leading scorer, Aston Francis averages 23 points per game. As Thunder get it down to a 9-point deficit. Working around the outside. Creighton in the hands of Marlowe, and Marlowe, somebody zigged when they should have zagged, and the ball gets thrown out of bounds. It'll be Wheaton basketball, 5th turnover of the evening for Santa Cruz. The official will take the opportunity to tie his shoe.
6 games today, 6 games tomorrow. Friday, we can sleep in, just 2 games. Is this a city that never sleeps? It's certainly a basketball arena that never sleeps these couple days here.
Luke Peters with the basketball. Peters, as the Thunder running the shot clock down now. Patience, but not necessarily getting any kind of look out of this. Zach Quam is checked into the game Quam is checked in for the first time, and a deep 3 from Kobe Eichelberger gets the Thunder a little closer. A 5-0 spurt here from Wheaton. As Weston over the top of the defense.
And you can tell, that's not the shot that they probably designed for that, because Eichelberger's only taken 13 threes on the course of the season, and this is a guy who's started every game.
Foul committed by the Thunder. Double bonus for the Banana Slugs. Wait, hold on a second. Nope. Evidently not. Now, the Thunder, the way they reacted, they thought the foul was on them. But no, the foul is on Adam Marlowe. And it's a 15th foul on Santa Cruz. 30-24. Wheaton down by 6. Trying to cut into this deficit a little more. Jay Spencer. And the Banana Slugs imploring for a foul of some sort. They're going to get one, but not the direction they wanted. Corey Cilia picks up the foul. That's his first. And Ben Dorfman returns Trey Weston to the bench. Kyle Creighton also back out on the floor for Santa Cruz. Samuelson top of the arc. Celia guarding him along the wing. Getting into the post for Adam Sandy, who's checked in. Shot is up and no good. Coming back the other way is Celia. Celia into the lane. Working around the right side now as Nerlin takes the handoff from Holler. 14 on the shot clock, 5:15 on the game clock. Santa Cruz leads by 6. Nerlin will try a 3, and it is good. Off balance, but counts just the same as the inbounds pass kicks off the keister of Zach Quam. And then a double dribble. Well, that was as ugly a play as you're going to see. 3 guys bringing the ball up the floor uncontested. It turns into a turnover, and the Santa Cruz Banana Slugs with another chance here to extend the lead.
6th turnover of the night for Wheaton, and just kind of mind-boggling, that one, right? Just kind of how you described it.
Celia, nice move by Creighton, and then it is shot blocked from behind by Gunter. And Nerlin finds the open shot, and I say the way this first half has gone, I think everyone expected that to go down. 33-24. Near side, Luke Peters working around. Ball fumbled momentarily and then corralled by Ricky Samuelson. Gunter into the lane. Fadeaway jumper, no. And rebound controlled by Santa Cruz.
It's just so strange. Even though, Wheaton spent the entire season last year winning just 5 games, it's still kind of an odd idea to think of Wheaton struggling as much as, as good as they've been for as long as we've had D3Hoops.com. It's just unusual.
Yeah, and if you look at their schedule this year, there are signs that they're coming back. The close loss to Chicago, and then there are signs that they're not ready yet. And, this game right now is pointing towards the latter part of that statement, although certainly a lot of time to go.
Starting 3 sophomores and a freshman certainly has something to do with that. Having, a distinct lack of seniors on this roster has something to do with that.
Into the paint, Kyle Creighton. Creighton turnaround shot is good, and Kyle Creighton angrily ricochets off a couple of bodies heading down the floor. Creighton having a good first half, as are the Slugs as a whole. Largest lead of the evening. It's 37-24, Santa Cruz.
Earlier here at the D3 Hoops Classic, in women's basketball action, Lewis and Clark defeated Simpson by the score of 60-54. Puget Sound all over Coast 76-47. Stevens defeated UW Eau Claire 51-43. We shifted to men's action. The Battle of Unbeatens was won by Ramapo, which defeated Salisbury 66-65. The game right preceding this one, 11th ranked UW Eau Claire defeated Gustavus Adolphus 78-57. And that gets you caught up on what's gone on here so far today.
Yeah, relatively light day for Division III basketball. Tomorrow, you start to see a lot of teams get back into the swing of things. More of those holiday tournaments start up again. I'm looking down the scoreboard, and this is the only CCIW team in action on the men's side today. Again, things will pick up terms of holiday tournaments tomorrow, and then you'll have a ton of games over the weekend again. Only one other top 25 team in action today other than the two we saw here, and it was Christopher Newport, who obliterated Pitt Greensburg 96-43.
As they should.
Yeah. Ball tipped out.
Not to say that Pitt Greenberg shouldn't field a team. I'm just saying you expect Christopher Newport to do that.
Yeah, that's. You won't be surprised to know that that's the opener of their own holiday tournament.
I think the first time, no, it wasn't the first time, but one of the first times I saw Wheaton play was at CNU's holiday tournament, but that was quite some time ago. C.J. Woolham.
Now head coach of Christopher Newport at that point, yeah. Free throw up and no good for Luke Peters.
I'll tell you, Mike Shower's going to have a lot to talk about at halftime. There's not a lot going right here for Wheaton in the first half.
Just to be thorough, CCIW had one team in action on the two teams on the women's side, North Central and Milliken, and they went 1-1. DePaul beat Milliken, and North Central beat somebody called Roosevelt 103-83.
Roosevelt is a school in Chicago, which has athletics and has talked about joining Division III. But otherwise, I only knew them because my mom went to grad school there.
Oh, really? How about that?
Right in the heart of downtown Chicago, along with Robert Morris, Chicago in the North Loop area, and Columbia College.
Wow.
I
thought you were you're violating your not knowing the background of non-Division III schools here.
Well, my daughter visited there for college, so
really?
Otherwise
okay.
I would not have heard of Columbia College in Chicago.
37-25, Santa Cruz on top by 12, 2:39 to play in the second half as Matthew Nerlin gets a well-deserved break.
Illinois Tech is right down there as well, actually.
Aston Francis. This is the guy who's got to get going here. Francis averages 23 points per game, and he's well off that pace right now.
Francis, a sophomore, 6'1", 190-pounder out of Tyler, Texas. 38% from downtown, 45% from the floor, 75% from the line where he is right now.
First free throw is up and good for Francis. He's got 9 points now. He's got a couple of fouls.
Dorfman heads back to the bench for UC Santa Cruz.
Second free throw coming. No good, and Trey Weston, all alone for the rebound. So 37-26, 2:27 to play. Good backdoor cut. Celia Weston led him a little too far, and Weston with a smile on his face as he knows he just missed there. 37-26. See if the Thunder can get this back within single digits as Ricky Samuelson and Luke Peters bring the ball up the floor. Peters works off the screen from Peterson. And the foul down low as Peterson found himself matched up with the much smaller Adam Marlowe, and Marlowe holds on for dear life and picks up the foul, his second.
Gordon, you briefly mentioned a little bit of the Wheaton resume. Lost by 10 to Benedictine, of course, the defending national runner-up in the season opener. Beat Luther, beat Heidelberg, beat UW Platteville, won at Elmhurst. So Elmhurst graduated about 17 seniors from last year's. That's only a slight exaggeration. I think it was 9. The close loss to U of Chicago, close loss at Augustana, and then beat Calvin and lost to Alma before coming here to Las Vegas.
Yeah, well, and those last 3 or 4, that's kind of the back and forth. They've alternated wins and losses for a while. And they're due for a win if you believe in that sort of pattern. Their last game was a loss, and that is an offensive foul called on Aston Francis, and that's his third. And Mike Schauer with a look of dismay as he strolls to the far end of the bench. Not only has he lost his best player here for the rest of this half, or at least his leading scorer, but going to have to think twice about starting him to start the second half. And on top of that, it's a turnover, and Santa Cruz has a chance to build on a 13-point lead. Corey Cilia bringing the ball up the floor. Oof, it was a good screen there from Dylan Holler. Weston dumps it off. Nerlin, shot is rejected by a couple of Thunder players, including Peterson. 8 on the shot clock. Cilia works around a screen. Lazy pass is taken away by the Thunder. 7th turnover of the night by the Banana Slugs. Open three near sideline. Back rim, no. And Weston controls the rebound. Weston's got himself a bunch of boards here in this first half. 4 to be exact. Celia.
That's a bunch.
Yep.
Especially a bunch of bananas. I think 4 in a bunch of bananas.
Oh, I knew where that was going as soon as you started.
Well, you said bunch, man. I just... It's late. This is game 6 talking.
Nerlin shot, no good. And a rebound controlled by the Thunder's Ricky Samuelson.
We've had some pretty classic game 6 broadcasts. Just to wait till we get to tomorrow. It's game 6, which will be game 12. And we have the Banana Slugs back here against UW Eau Claire.
Reagan Jones with a deep 3. Gets the Thunder within 10. And Celia, 2-second differential between shot and game clock. So the taller Luke Peters comes out to guard Celia, who didn't start, but has played pretty much the entire half despite that. So Celia for Weston, 6 on the shot clock. Weston makes his move. Good finish from Trey Weston, who is the guy who started in his place and has looked pretty good doing it. Shot before the end of the half is short, and a fitting finish for the Thunder in a first half where not much went right, and it was all slugs. Banana Slugs on top of the Wheaton Thunder at the break. It's UC Santa Cruz 41, Wheaton College 29. We'll take a break and come back in about 15 with your first half statistics.
Did receive a non-athletic scholarship upon entering school.
I got the presidential scholarship, which was huge for me.
I think there's more opportunities for academic scholarships in Division III.
I did receive academic scholarships. Just being involved on campus, being a leader, all those things combined kind of get me recognized. It's a great experience for me.
For the love of the game. That's what it's all about, they say. But for those of us who are Division III student athletes, it's more than that.
It's more about team and the schools and communities we represent.
And for the many of us blessed with the strength to compete in sport at the college level, we understand that with what we were given comes a special obligation.
Our obligation to help those who have their own special needs and whose love for the game is no less intense.
That is why NCAA Division III teamed up with Special Olympics. Since August of 2011, we and others from Division III campus communities have volunteered more than 250,000 hours, time away from the classroom and practice field, reaching across the country to coach and mentor Special Olympics athletes.
And to learn that in giving, we receive so much more in return. Help us keep that dream alive.
Be part of it.
Get involved.
You can make a difference.
I'm a Division III student athlete, and I know how powerful words can be. The term gay doesn't mean stupid, lame, or less than.
So I pledge to speak up if I hear the term gay used in a derogatory way or any other homophobic terms.
If you can play in Division III.
I'm a Division III student athlete, and my teammates unconditionally accepted me as part of their family. So now I pledge to do the same for others. If you can play in Division III.
It's on us to stop sexual assault.
In any way that we can.
To get a friend home safe.
To never blame the victim.
It's on us.
To stand up.
To make our community safe for all.
It's on us.
It's on us to look out for each other at parties.
It's on us.
To be more than just a bystander.
To step up and say something.
It's on us, all of us.
To stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Great moments are born from great opportunity. That's what you have here tonight. That's what you've earned here tonight. This is your time. Now go out there and take it.
Cheer for the stumbles. That he should have had that. And the tears that linger. For in those moments, greatness lies. There, you will find the provoked, the determined, the unified. It's in those moments that champions are born.
I used to never really talk. Ever. I was scared and shy. It was hard to look at people's faces. I was afraid if I said something wrong, everyone would laugh at me. But then I started to play golf with Special Olympics. I made friends and won lots of gold medals. But I learned more than just playing golf. Special Olympics helped me to find my voice. And now everyone else is speechless.
Division III allows you to give yourself to other things.
Having that free time allows me to pursue the things that I want to pursue.
Division III athletics affords students the opportunity to, engage in the other interests in their campus and in their lives outside of that sport.
It allows you to just be able to do everything you want to do. I wouldn't change it for the world.
For the love of the game. But for those of us who are Division III student athletes, it's more than that, a lot more.
Sure, the game is important. But as we work so hard to build both mind and body, it's more about team.
That is why NCAA Division III teamed up with Special Olympics. And in giving the gift of sport to those for whom it seemed an impossible dream, we are working to make this a better world.
Help us keep that dream alive.
You can make a difference.
I'm a Division III student athlete, and I know how powerful words can be. The term gay doesn't mean stupid, lame, or less than.
So I pledge to speak up if I hear the term gay used in a derogatory way or any other homophobic terms.
If you can play in Division III.
I'm a Division III student athlete, and my teammates unconditionally accepted me as part of their family. So now I pledge to do the same for others. If you can play in Division III.
This is our It's On Us pledge. It's on us to make a personal commitment to help keep all people safe from sexual assault, regardless of race, gender, sexual orientation, or ability.
Not to be bystanders to the problem, but to be leaders of the solution. We invite you to join us in this campaign by informing your campuses about the It's On Us mission.
It starts right when you hit the court. You imagine your finest moment. The game-winning shot that gets you to the dance. A monster dunk or no-look pass. And cutting down the net. Sports lets us dream of our own success. And prepare us for our finest moments on and off the court.
Welcome back to the South Point Casino and Resort. Is UC Santa Cruz. The Banana Slugs are on top of the Wheaton College Thunder, 41-29 at the break. You see the main numbers there on your screen. We won't read them to you, but tell you individually, a great first half for Matthew Nerlin. Had 12 points off the bench for the Banana Slugs. He shot 5 for 8 from the floor, 2 of 3 from behind the arc in 13 minutes. A very good 13 minutes for Coach Robbie Dubois. For Matthew Nerland, other scorers, Kyle Creighton with 9, 6 apiece for Trey Watson, Adam Marlowe, and Corey Celia. And 2 points for Dylan Holler. Leading rebounder for the Banana Slugs was Trey Weston. He had 5. For the Thunder, Aston Francis, 9 points. We said he averages about 24 per game. So he's off his pace there. He also picked up 3 fouls. And so we'll see if Francis, actually we can look right now and see if Francis is out there. He is. He is going to start the second half on the floor despite having 3 fouls. But Wheaton as a whole shot 38%, and just not much went right in that first half for the Thunder.
You know, remember yesterday, Wheaton chose to take its shoot-around. Instead of doing it here on the arena floor, they chose to do it at UNLV where they had a connection. But, you know, it meant that they did not get a chance to shoot on these sight lines, on these rims, just get generally accustomed to the building before they showed up for pregame about 20 minutes before the game started.
Well, and you and I watched the Banana Slugs shoot around, and it was not pretty. They have been much better in game action than they were in practice, and maybe they just knocked off all that rust and weird angles. I'll get that.
All right. As the ball goes underneath the media table and comes and joins us. We get Gordon his headset back.
Now you guys at home know I'm the bald one. If there was, well, I don't know why.
I think it's really tightly cropped, actually. You can't see us at all. We're good. Every time you mention my name or every time Dave mentions my name, I just raise my hand and wave in case anybody's watching.
41-31, Banana Slugs with the lead and the ball. Santa Cruz, Celia, who started the second half. And again, started every game this year but this one, but played most of the first half despite not starting. Kick out, open 3, Kyle Creighton no good, and the rebound controlled by Aston Francis, who again has to be very careful. He's got 3 fouls to start the second half. Kobe Eichelberger drives in, Creighton gets a piece of it, ball deflected around, and eventually will go out of bounds. It'll be Thunder basketball.
It'll be interesting, too, here, Gordon, in the second half to see if shooting fortunes reverse at all. You know, again, we talk about the easier backdrop and the tougher backdrop, and now Wheaton has that here in the second half. They have the easier time of it.
3-pointer for Francis. Check that, a long 2 for Aston. And Aston hits the long jumper, and it's 41-33. So the Thunder off to a little better start here. 4-0 to start the second half. Still have work to do, down by 9. Or 8, so not quite as much work. But
there you go. Some of it's already done.
It's nice when they do it for you. Kyle Creighton spins around on Jay Spencer, and a foul on the floor. Creighton, I think, is pleading for that to be a shooting foul, but that's going to be called on the floor on Jay Spencer. Spencer again getting the start tonight for Wheaton in place of Reagan Jones, who played some, but not a whole lot in that second half. Shot is up and good from Corey Celia. And back to a 10-point Banana Slugs advantage.
Again, Celia just doing a great job on the offensive end whenever he touches the basketball.
Outside. He's way outside. Is all the way outside off the court.
Just a bit outside. Aston Francis looking for a teammate out on the wing and just not in the right spot on the wing.
So Santa Cruz with a chance to get this lead back to 12, where it was before the half started, as Creighton lumbers through the lane, and he does just that. Kyle Creighton off glass for 2, and Creighton has 11 points, and the Banana Slugs lead by 12. Luke Peters drives in, outside look, pull up. No, Eichelberger thought about a pull-up jumper. Aston Francis gives it off for Eichelberger. Eichelberger's 3, back rim no good, and Weston with a rebound for the Santa Cruz Banana Slugs. Chance for the Slugs to take this largest lead of the game. Pull-up jumper, back rim no good. There's a quick trigger 3 there from Ben Dorfman is off the mark. Francis, pull up off the screen from Jay Spencer. Deflects into the hands of Marlowe. Marlowe to Cilia. Cilia off glass and good. And the Slugs push the lead a little farther now. It's a 14-point Santa Cruz advantage. Reagan Jones will check that Eichelberger pull-up shot, no good. And here comes Marlowe back the other way. He blows right by the defender and lays it up for two. Boy, if we had a wide shot at the two benches, it would say it all. The Banana Slugs are literally like dancing in circles after each basket, and the Wheaton bench looks like they're at a funeral.
It looks like you can see them right now.
Yeah, 49-33. Spin move, Luke Peters, no, and Creighton takes away the rebound and then nearly rips the arm out of the socket of Luke Peters. Well, I suppose we should get this out of the way. The question that looms whenever you have Santa Cruz described, what is a banana slug?
There you go. That's the question that was on my mind right now.
Well, it is exactly what it sounds like. It is a giant slug. They're bright yellow. I'm not sure they can be found in California. I'm sure we can look up the genesis of the nickname. But it's certainly one of the more unique nicknames in Division III, which has a lot of them. It's the best known. Corey Cilia. Pass deflected into the hands of the Thunder. Luke Peters back the other way, and his shot is blocked by Creighton, who's got this ability to be like omnipresent. Every time there's a shot that's up, he seems to be contesting it somehow. Yeah, they do live in the redwood forest of California, so they are local to Santa Cruz.
They're a native species.
Described by the college itself as a bright yellow, slimy, shellless mollusk, commonly found on the redwood forest floor. The unofficial mascot for Santa Cruz co-ed teams, and now the official mascot for Santa Cruz. Yeah, in 2008, ESPN named it one of the best mascots. Reader's Digest has featured it before. It's, again, Sammy the Slug is the actual name of the mascot. They do have a great T-shirt. This is a good one. It says, when the men's tennis team played in the NCAA championships, their T-shirts read, "Banana Slugs, no known predators."
There you go.
That's pretty good. And the Banana Slug, it says, even figured into a court case involving campus mascots. Judge Terrence Evans, writing the opinion for the 7th Federal Circuit Court of Appeals, stated, "We give the best college nickname nod to the University of California, Santa Cruz." So,
how is that? Why was that adjudicated?
There must have been some sort of I don't know. I mean, when was this? I'm wondering if this was 2004. Would that have been a little early or so for the concerned about Native American mascots, perhaps? I'm not sure what other court case that would be.
That's not too early for that.
Yeah. It's 49-33, so there's your Banana Slug information of the game. We're full-service organization here. 49-34.
That's right. If you drive up, we will pump your gas.
Luke Peters. Back rim, no good. Rebound controlled by Ben Dorfman. 15-point Santa Cruz lead. As Jake Malagan is checked back into the game at the point for the Thunder, who are going to give Aston Francis a break. Weston's shot no good. They unquestionably have just way more energy than Wheaton does. And Weston will head to the free throw line. Free throw coming here for Weston. Got the start tonight. And shot is short off the front rim. Weston with 6 points so far. Banana Slugs 7 of 9 from the free throw line, but all of them before this shot here came at the easier backdrop. Coach Mike Schauer, who's in his third stop in Division III, coached at Eastern Nazarene and then went to Gordon College. Gordon College.
He just coached at Eastern, I think.
Oh, I'm sorry, Eastern.
Just Eastern. Eastern Gordon.
Oh, you're right. Sorry, Eastern, the one in down near Philadelphia. And then at Gordon College outside of Boston, Massachusetts, and Wenham, Mass., sort of the Wheaton of the East in the evangelical Christian community. Right, and not to be confused with the Wheaton that is in the East, which is not a which is a non-sectarian school. The shot is off the mark, no good. 49-34, and I can tell you, when I was in high school, I was looking at schools of that nature, and the two names that came immediately to the top of the list when you were looking were, have you looked at Gordon and have you looked at Wheaton? And I was not an athlete, so I would not have helped either of those schools in any fashion. But
and you weren't going to go to a school named after you.
Well, it came down. I was very close. But they are very, very well known in the evangelical Christian community, and that enables Wheaton to recruit from a much broader base. 49-36. Thunder need all the help they can get right now, divine or otherwise. Is a charging violation on Wheaton, and one of the players for the Thunder there, number 22, Ricky Samuelson, has got a nasty gash in the side of his head. Santa Cruz brings Dylan Holler back into the game. Ben Dorfman got a quick break, comes back, as does Matthew Nerland. So those three, along with Celia and Tyler Klingenbeck, who played a few minutes in the first half. Banana Slugs don't have a big roster. They only have 3 other guys in warm-ups on the sideline. Contrast that with Wheaton, who's got enough players to field a second and a third team. Three-pointer is up, back rim no good, but you can only play 5 at a time. And right now, Santa Cruz's 5 are consistently better, as it is now a 15-point Santa Cruz lead. 51-36. 3 on the way, back rim, no. Tipped into the hands of Dylan Holler. Holler bringing the ball up the floor, slings it on the baseline. Nerland's shot is blocked. And here comes Aston Francis the other way. Francis motoring towards the rim. Shot is up and good. Francis with a little check back to the referee as if to say, no foul. Francis now to double digits, and the Thunder trim the lead down to 13. Celia wide open. My goodness, Dylan Holler with his own zip code on the baseline. Lays it up for 2, and it's a 15-point Santa Cruz lead again.
No, Santa Cruz just content to go back and forth, up and down the floor with them, and as long as they maintain this 2-touchdown lead, why not?
Francis with an awkward off-balance fadeaway jumper that doesn't draw anything, and Mike Schauer looks like he's ready for one. He's leaning back in his chair and as if to say, this is just not going to be our night, as they try the same backdoor play for about the 20th time. This time Wheaton gets to it and picks it off. Francis motoring towards the rim, got it, count it, going to the line. Francis gets the basket and momentarily gets the Thunder within 13. Going to get a bunch of subs. Jones checked. Yeah, Reagan Jones will check in. Trevor Gunter checks in. And going to get our first action of the night from Michael Winiowiecki, who's just played one other game this year. This is Winiowiecki checking in here. He junior guard from Douglas, Michigan. He's going to give Francis a break. And the Banana Slugs are going to counter with Andrew Jones, a junior forward from Boston, Massachusetts. 53-41, Santa Cruz by 12. Celia to the outside, 3 on the way for Jones, no good. Rebound contested and batted out of bounds off of Wheaton. It's Thunder basketball.
I'll tell you, Gordon, I've spent the last few minutes compiling a list of the best wins.
Been working hard there.
the best wins of the past decade for UC Santa Cruz. There are not many against Division III opponents. If this turns out to be one of them, even if
well, you figure Wheaton's they're not going to go 0 and whatever the rest
of their
season,
schedule, right? Yeah. I know they went 5-20 last year.
They're going to play Milliken twice, so
and Elmhurst twice. They might win one of those.
Well, they already have.
They might win another one of those, right? Again, the conference schedule starting before.
Really? Shot, yeah.
They only have 3 notable wins against teams with above 500 records, and all of them are teams out of the SCIAC. And then I included also for honorable mention, they beat Lewis and Clark last year, 73-70. Lewis and Clark finished 10-14, but that's a slightly higher
in a better conference.
Yeah, exactly. If you think of it just in terms of stature within Division III, Wheaton as a program,
right?
Maybe not Wheaton this season, would be the biggest notch in their belt. Beat Lewis and Clark in 2015. Beat Claremont Mudscript 61-59 in November of 2012, and Claremont went on to go 18-8. Beat Chapman 44-43 in January of 2011. That loss probably kept Chapman out of the NCAA tournament. They went 18-7 that year in one of their last years in Pool B. And then back in 2009, they beat Cal Lutheran 67-65. Cal Lutheran went on to go 15-11. There's not a lot of wins that you can point to with pride in Division III as a Santa Cruz fan.
That's it. That's the list, as they say.
Thus endeth the list.
55-43, but they're on their way to adding one here. Kyle Creighton fights his way through the defense again. Creighton is 15, and it's a 14-point Santa Cruz lead. 3 on the way, front rim no. Rebound controlled by Peters. Peters shot no good, but he is fouled as Holler picks up the personal. That is going to be Holler's first foul.
Yeah, I mean, just this whole kind of sequence of events had me wondering what is the best win in Santa Cruz history.
Yeah, not a program that as an independent, and they don't really have a path to the NCAA tournament. They would have to win all of their games, and the way against Division III opponents, and the way it works, they'd have to have kind of a random year where a bunch of those teams had good records.
Well, and there's no
Pool B bid. Yeah. So they would have to establish themselves as better than the second best team in every other conference.
Well, at least some conference somewhere.
Right.
Have to be one of the top 22 Pool C teams. 23 this year, right?
Correct.
64-team tournament.
Santa Cruz.
It's good for you in your first year. You get a full tournament.
Full bracket. Don't have to worry about that bye.
They had to get rid of me in order to get a full bracket.
57-44 Santa Cruz on top here. And I mentioned the scheduling challenges for the Banana Slugs. We have stand-up interviews with a player or a coach from each team. We hope to get Coach DuBois and basically just ask him, what's the goal here? What do you build, knowing your scheduling and your conference membership option limitations? When your season, you're a member of Division III, and your Division III season is basically over on January 3rd.
That's got to be an interesting conundrum. How do you even fill the rest of that schedule, really?
Yeah. Layup underneath the basket. And the Banana Slugs, actually, I think the Thunder are going to take a timeout. It's a full 13-point lead, I should say. 11:10 to play here in the second half.
And back here at the South Point Arena and Casino in Las Vegas at the D3Hoops.com Classic. Production aided by our friends with Production Truck and Blue Frame Technologies. You see all the little bells and whistles and graphics that we've been playing around with and informing you with throughout the course of this 6 games today. Thanks to the folks at Production Truck for their help with the 7th annual D3Hoops.com Classic.
Celia penetrates in, shot off the glass is good, and another productive possession for the Banana Slugs. They lead 61-46, and the Thunder, Zach Quam, who checks back in, the junior from Canton, Georgia, commits the traveling violation and is promptly replaced by Luke Peters.
Lots of, as you mentioned, lots of players here for Wheaton. Maybe somewhere there is a combination on this bench or on the floor that can spark something here and bring them back from this 15-point deficit.
10:40 to play. So there's plenty of time. There just have not been any real signs of life here from Wheaton on a sustained basis. It leads you to believe they've got that in them here, but they do have the time still to turn it around.
Yep.
10:33 to play here in the second half. As Ben Dorfman gets the ball inbound. It's Dorfman, Marlowe, Celia, Creighton, and Weston. Weston gets it off for Dorfman. For Creighton. And Creighton, once again, he's got that hook shot down pat. 17 points for Kyle Creighton.
He sure does, Gordon.
Wheaton. Luke Peters.
I got what I was getting at.
I do.
Nice save there on the sidelines by Marlowe, keeping the ball in bounds for Santa Cruz.
Marlowe looks over the top of the defense. Instead goes to his left, and now back for Marlowe. Marlowe way over the top of the defense that time for Celia. Into the post. Kyle Creighton with 7 on the shot clock. Goes to work on the shorter Luke Peters. Is flying in from behind to block that shot is Jay Spencer. And 2 seconds on the shot clock as Wheaton will get a substitution. They'll bring Reagan Jones back into the game. Take Kobe Eichelberger out. Ball inbounds. Shot for Dorfman is no good, but he's fouled, and I think he's going to get 3.
As he should. Had to force it up because the shot clock was running down. Did manage to draw iron, but yep, he'll go to the foul line too.
17-point Santa Cruz advantage. This could be 20 here if Dorfman could hit all 3. Okay, well, this could be 19 if he can hit the last 2. Dorfman out of Aptos, California. All right, well, this could be...
if he could hit one of them. If he could just hit one. There's 4 for 5 from the foul line in the season coming in. There's one. So it was 18.
Right.
That's what it could be.
Pass deflected. Stolen away from Francis, and here comes Marlowe, and Marlowe gets trucked.
Oh, and Francis, just had this look in his eyes. You knew he was going to come and basically you knew he was going to commit the foul. He was going to ostensibly try for the ball.
Paying the price. It ends up being a team huddle with the referee involved for Santa Cruz, and that's the 4th foul of the game on Aston Francis.
And they played for a long time with 3.
Yeah, he did not get cheated on his 4th foul. But
no, it's just not a smart play. It's premeditated.
Yeah.
You're not gonna strip that ball away 99 times out of 100. So you're just going in there to commit a foul because you're frustrated? Coaches hate that.
So that is the 4th foul on Francis. It's also the 8th team foul on the Thunder, so 1-1 here for the Banana Slugs. And it's going to be another 1-1 for the Banana Slugs as the Thunder commit the lane violation. 64-46.
Yeah, Mike Schauer, all he can do at this point is just
sit
and stare.
Yeah. And his look, that is the definition of resignation right there. Free throw for Marlowe is good. Second one coming here on the bonus from the Whittier, California native. 20-point Banana Slug lead, 66-46. Wheaton with the ball and a big mountain to climb. Aston Francis drives in, and he is fouled. And he will head to the free throw line.
Yeah, just leaving Francis out there with 4 fouls. You're not going to come back without him.
Yep.
And you think probably at some point of stealing a minute or two with him on the bench if they need to, or also, frankly, it's an opportunity to let the kid kind of learn a lesson too for committing a 4th foul in not a particularly well-advised way.
Yeah. And as you mentioned, this is a young team here for Wheaton. They do not have any seniors on the roster. That's somewhat surprising. Not sure how that happens for a well-established program. Looking into the block, nothing there as Trey Weston does battle with Aston Francis. And now they get it to Weston, who turns on Francis and banks it in for 2. 68-47. And this is turning into a game where Banana Slugs can basically pick the score. Francis drives over the top of the defense. Thunder's Ricky Samuelson kicks it over. 3 on the way, no good. Weston grabs the rebound, pulls it away from Jay Spencer. Barlow brings the ball up the floor. Banana Slugs living large here in their first appearance in the D3 Hoops Classic.
I don't know if I want to see a large Banana Slug.
Well, Trey Weston's pretty large.
So they don't live on bananas.
Apparently not. That's not all they live on, at least. Weston's free throw is short.
Not a lot of bananas in the redwood forest of Northern
say,
California.
That's what threw me, is I figured the bananas was part of their diet. I didn't think it would be the color.
Makes sense, though.
It does. You've seen the warm-ups of anything else with the paraphernalia on it. It's pretty clear it's a yellow slug. Weston hits the second free throw, 69-47. All slugs. 8:13 to play. Like I said, there's just no way. It doesn't roll off the tongue.
No natural predators.
There's no way to say it without a smile on your face. 8:04 to play. Fade away from Francis. That was pretty.
That was.
Aston Francis is going to finish not too far off his average. He's got 21 points now. The problem has been there's been really no offense from anybody else. Celia into the paint. And Holler will take the jumper and hit it.
No offense from anybody else. Not a super ton of defense either.
Nope. Holler with 8. Francis for 3. Back rim, no. And Weston. When was the last time somebody other than Francis attempted a shot for Wheaton? It's been a long time. It at least feels that way. Weston hands the ball off. And now Marlowe. Adam Marlowe to the top of the arc, 11 on the shot clock. Holler, ow, that was off of Aston's face. It's under control. Luke Peters down the floor, and Celia picks up the blocking foul. 15th foul on the Banana Slugs, so not a shooting situation, I don't think. I don't think he was in the act of shooting, nope. Francis is going to head to the bench. And we get our first look of the evening at Tyrell Derrick, sophomore guard from Rathdrum, Idaho, who is appearing in just his second game of the season. Spencer Peterson inbounds the ball. Thunder. Over for Peterson. And a foul. They held up 2 figures. And that's not 1-and-1 yet. It's just a foul on the floor. It's the 16th foul on the Banana Slugs. As Holler picks up the foul, that's his 3rd. And team 6th, inbounds pass denied from Creighton out of bounds.
Well, the Banana Slugs have caught the attention of the Las Vegas Review-Journal as well.
Yep.
See a story on, I don't know if it's Banana Slugs in general, this team, their journey. The amphibious insect. I don't know. What's a slug anyway?
It's a mollusk.
A mollusk. So that puts them in the what?
Crustacean family.
Okay. And what
It's like a
kingdom
snail.
is that?
It's like a snail, basically.
What phylum?
I have no idea. You lost me.
Yeah.
I could get that Wikipedia page back up if you really want to know.
I was raised by a scientist. Sorry. I think that makes them an animal.
Oh, yeah. Well, they're definitely not a vegetable or a plant or a mineral.
Fair enough.
71 to 51.
Mineral's not actually part of the animal kingdom.
Oh, that's okay. Fair enough.
We do not have a classification of that sort. Kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species. No. So Marlowe picks up foul number 3, 7th team foul of the half. Foul shots upcoming here for Tyrell Derrick. Shoot 1 and 1.
Yeah, and again, there's this silence speaks to the fact that there's really not much to say about Derrick. This is his second game, and is coming in, no points, no rebounds, no assists, no shots taken, no steals, no blocks.
First point of the season then.
Yep. Free throw is up and good.
Second point of the season then.
71-53 is Trevor Gunter back into the game for the Thunder. And Reagan Jones gets a break. 18-point Santa Cruz lead. They led by 12 to start the second half, and after a little bit of a Wheaton run to get it down to single digits, Slugs came right back and pushed it to double digits and basically been on cruise control since. Slowly sliding their way to victory. Drive in, Luke Peters, shot no good, and a charging foul going to be called on Peters. And a turnover by Wheaton. That is turnover number 15 for the Thunder. 5:47 to play. Peters' second foul of the night. Shower is saying that should have been a blocking foul. Creighton, Celia, Klingenbeck, Weston, and Nerlin, the 5 on the floor for Santa Cruz. They look like they're on their way to going 6-8 on the season. Team went 10-15 last year. Head fake there from Creighton. Creighton shot off the glass, no good. And ball tipped away out of bounds by 2 Wheaton players who were defending each other. Weston, oh my, Weston gets pile driven into the court. And his Shower just got teed up. And that was as clear as a bell what he said. Start calling the game fairly, but I don't know what he wanted him to call there. Weston looked like a WWE style move as he got absolutely clobbered. And free throws coming here for Celia, and this has just been an evening to forget for Wheaton. Celia hits the first free throws. We mentioned before, he does not miss often from here. He's an 85% free throw shooter. Second technical foul coming. As Celia hits the second. 73-53. Santa Cruz is about to put a big, ugly mark on Wheaton's schedule here in terms of when you look back at their season, however it ends. This one's going to have a question mark next to it. Just because, well, 1, they don't play this team very often. Nobody does. And 2, just the margin of victory here is going to be, I'll be honest, I think the exact opposite of what I thought it was going to be. I had figured Wheaton would be the prohibitive favorite here. It's a good thing I didn't go upstairs and place any bets with the sports books, because I would have lost.
It's
big
a
time.
Very good thing you didn't do that. You should
right,
not bet on college athletics.
For several reasons, right, yes. Fair point. 74-53. It would be sort of funny to see that Banana Slug logo, though, slide across the marquee where they have all the electronic logos. That's my favorite game when you come here, is to watch all the logos of random Division I schools and see if you can guess what they are.
For me, that's like Cleveland State.
Right, yeah, well, yeah, exactly. They're the Vikings, by the way. 74-53.
Good to know. I will keep that in mind.
Shot up for Peters, no good. Gunter still battling, tries to get the rebound. Last touched by Santa Cruz. As Holler started to come into the game, and then Coach Du Bois pulls him back. Gunter for Peters. Peters outside, look at a three, front rim no. Wheaton guys, give credit to the guys who are out there. They're still fighting. As Terrell Derrick battles for an offensive rebound. Third chance of this possession. Gunter wants Peters to come across him on the screen. He now does. Spin move from Peters, and his shot is partially blocked. Peters gets it back. Fourth try of the possession. Also comes up empty, and Santa Cruz takes over with 4.5 minutes to play in a 21-point advantage. 74-53, Creighton with Peterson on him. Creighton watched the hook shot. It's his favorite move. No good, but Weston with the rebound. Put back, no, and Spencer Peterson makes sure there's not a third chance, but Wheaton throws the ball away, and Banana Slugs will get it back. And here's some of the younger players for Wheaton again. Michael Winowiecki checks in. Also into the game, Derek was already out there, so he's not the other guy who checked in. How about Mark Champion, number 33, a junior forward from Sewanee, Georgia, playing in just his second game of the year. And a charge, or rather a foul on Wheaton, long into the double bonus here. Creighton heads to the free throw line. Klingenbeck, actually that wasn't Klingenbeck that checked in, that was Vinay Narayanam, who checks in from Santa Clara, California. Narayanam, a freshman guard, 6'3", so good size. Good three-point shooter, 9 of 16 on the season. Creighton's second free throw is good. And 76-53. Well, you're going to be able to play all kinds of fun if A beats B and B beats C games through this chain throughout the year. You're going to be able to get probably Santa Cruz into the top 25 that way if you want to do it. But again, I think Wheaton's got better days ahead.
Well, here's hoping, because
this is couldn't be much worse than this. 76-53. 3:26 to play. Nerlin, who had a great first half, weaves his way into the lane Plastic Man style, but the shot is no good. And here comes Derek back the other way. Derek got it. Count it. Yep, and he'll go to the line. I understand you've been working hard on something over there. What do you got?
Well, just looking ahead at tomorrow's schedule here, Gordon, where I can't seem to get it to appear on the screen. Hey, Dave, help me out. I seem to have done something. All right. There we go. Here's tomorrow's schedule for the D3Hoops.com Classic. We start with Co and Pacific Lutheran starting our day off 10 a.m. local time as the free throw is good. Followed by Simpson at number 23 Puget Sound, and Stevens faces Lewis and Clark. Then our men's action resumes with Gustavus Adolphus facing Ramapo, Salisbury versus Hardin-Simmons, and UW Eau Claire versus UC Santa Cruz.
Gunter with the basket. Wheaton showing a little late signs of life here now, down 18. Gunter with a three-point play opportunity as Wheaton's going to bring Jake Malagan back into the game, Brownsburg, Indiana native.
I think I was going to create that graphic of best UC Santa Cruz
I thought that's
wins.
what you were working on, or a nice picture of a banana slug, eating whatever it is banana slugs eat.
I'm not capable of doing that. No, something far more imperative of what's coming up tomorrow. Games 7 through 12.
Also known as later today on the East Coast.
Oy.
Gunter with the free throw.
That's why I don't live on the East Coast.
76-59. Going to be tomorrow in 30 minutes on your side, your part of the country too. So
yeah, but at least we won't be still playing basketball.
I would be very surprised if we were. 76-59.
Actually, I think Co and Pacific Lutheran are lining up waiting to come in.
We just decided to play all 14 games in a row.
NAIA tournament style.
2:44 to play here in the second half. A game completely dominated by Santa Cruz, although Terrell Derrick with the jumper. And then, also a new player out there, Akina Anigbogu checks in for the Banana Slugs. He's out of El Cerrito, California.
That means the small cerro.
Small pig, right? Cerro is a pig.
No, cerdo is a pig.
Cerdo is a pig. Okay, so that would be the piglet. That would be a heck of a name for your town.
No, that would be El Cerdito. It's El Cerrito, and I have to admit I don't remember that from Spanish class.
2:04 to play.
Siri.
Right.
I don't even have an iPhone. I do have the Google Translate app, though.
Little Mountain.
There you go. Cute little mountain.
76-63. Oh, a rejection there by Narayanam. Smacks it out of the sky. So you've got Narayanam, Anigbogu, number 21, Tyler Klingenbeck, Matthew Nerlin, and Andrew Jones, the 5 on the floor, as Derrick fires it up. No good. Gunter with a rebound and puts it up and in. And well, we said in the last game, sometimes the score isn't indicative of the final score. That one it was. If this one finishes single digits, this one is not going to be. 78-65 as the Thunder give them credit for continuing to scrap here.
Well, and the end of the Thunder bench is better than the end of the Santa Cruz bench. Yep.
Third time this half, one of the Santa Cruz players gets wiped out. And let's see who the foul is on. First foul on Derrick. Tyler Klingenbeck heads to the free throw line. Hasn't had a whole lot of opportunities to shoot from there. He's 4 of 12 on the season. Yikes. Oh.
That's that's about how I made my last free throw in high school, too.
Hasn't shot much on a whole. He's 1 of 3 from beyond the arc. Averages 3 points per game. And he's going to get 1 of 2, but he's going to get another chance here because Wheaton, you can go long stretches without seeing lane violations. It's the second one in this half for the Thunder.
Well, a little hitch in his shot kind of drew him offside.
Right. He's got a little bit of the Patrick Ewing style hitch without the results. Ewing was a pretty good free throw shooter.
There's with the Shaquille O'Neal results.
Yeah, 80-65. Banana Slugs by 15 with 67 seconds to play. Winowiecki drives to the lane, and a foul called on Andrew Jones.
Yeah, I mean, I guess one of the benefits, you're getting an opportunity to get some guys some game action where they haven't had too many of those opportunities this season. There's 4 guys in the game now who are playing in just their second game of the season for the Thunder.
Yep.
So another benefit is you get to face a little adversity. And it's not that, you don't face adversity in going 5-4, but you're going to face a significant amount of adversity just kind of running through the CCIW schedule in general. Lest there's any thought that they might ever get complacent, this is a good wake-up call just for that.
Yeah, going to be the first time this season the Thunder have lost 2 games in a row. Again, they've been alternating wins and losses for the last 2 months. Santa Cruz on top here by 13 with 49 seconds to play as Narayanam, there we go. Goes battling for the rebound down there, and shot's no good. And the Slugs don't have a lot of players, so Matthew Nerlin, who is the team's leading scorer, is going to have to finish this game on the floor because there's just nobody left. Everybody else is done for the night.
They only had 11 dressed for practice yesterday, and not including the head coach.
Three-pointer is up and good for Mark Champion, first field goal of his college career. Well, I don't know of his college career, but of this year it is.
And now it is a misleading final score.
Yeah, because it's 80-70, and the Banana Slugs don't need to take the last shot, and I don't think they will. Nerlin. The Thunder's Jake Mulligan making Nerlin work off this final 5 seconds. And he does. So UC Santa Cruz always a bit of a mystery with their schedule, but they looked pretty good here tonight. A final score, the Banana Slugs of Santa Cruz 80 and the Wheaton College Thunder 70. With the victory, Santa Cruz improves to 6-8 on the season. Wheaton with the loss drops to 500. They are 5-5. Both teams have one more game remaining in the D3Hoops.com Classic. Santa Cruz will get the late game again tomorrow night, 8 o'clock local time for California squad, as they will play Wisconsin-Eau Claire, the number 11 team in the country who demolished Gustavus Adolphus in the second game of our men's triple header here tonight. Wheaton gets the day off, and I think they need it. Clear their heads, then they come back, and they are the final game of the D3Hoops.com Classic. On Friday, they will play at 6 o'clock local time in Chicago, 4 o'clock here in Las Vegas. They'll play the Hardin-Simmons Cowboys. Again, that's Friday at 6 o'clock back in Chicagoland, where Wheaton hails from. And long day, Pat. Final thoughts on this one?
Just kind of befuddled still by everything I saw here today in this final game. You just expect a Wheaton team to come out and compete, and other than the last 4 minutes or so when it was the end of Wheaton's bench against the end of the Santa Cruz bench, Wheaton really just didn't compete. They didn't come out. They didn't play particularly hard to start. I think maybe they thought they had the ability to just kind of show up and win this game, and then when it turned out, hey, that's actually not true. Aston Francis came out, had a really strong second half, but not a lot of support, not a lot else going on offensively for Wheaton, and we talked about it a couple times. Defensively, Wheaton just did not accomplish a whole hell of a lot. When you look at the final shooting numbers for UC Santa Cruz, it's they shot 48% from the floor. Even in the tough end of the building, they shot 44%.
Open looks galore.
Yeah,
in the second half.
Absolutely. Just first of all, really impressive. First look at UC Santa Cruz. Clearly, we've been sleeping on the Banana Slugs for the last decade. I think they okay. Dave thinks they can beat Ramapo.
Dave has announced that Santa Cruz will be in his top 25 ballot. So at least when I see that vote, I'll know who it comes from.
They have an opportunity. Not really an opportunity, but they play Eau Claire coming up tomorrow.
True.
But again, you can put this on the list of the best wins of the past decade for UC Santa Cruz. It's a really short list, but add
it grows by one.
December 28th, 2016 to the list, an 80-70 win over Wheaton College of Illinois. Just an impressive night for UC Santa Cruz, and welcome to the Division III map, even if it's possibly just for the night.
That'll do it for us. Day number 1 in the books here from the 7th Annual D3 Hoops Classic. It started with an NWC sweep on the women's side. Stevens gets off the mat to get their first win of the year. Men's side, a thriller between Ramapo and Salisbury, won by the Roadrunners. And then a dominating performance from Eau Claire. And if you stayed up for the nightcap, the Banana Slugs with the resounding victory this evening. UC Santa Cruz, again, your final score with a victory over Wheaton College, 80-70. For Dave McHugh and Pat Coleman, signing off. We'll be back at you tomorrow, or again, if you're on the East Coast, later today.